Welcome friends, welcome to Kiss Up Cards, where I keep it simple stamping up. I'm Marianne and I'm coming to you as an independent Stampin' Up consultant, demonstrator, card maker, and I'm just bringing to you another Christmas card layout. So last week I showed you a quick and easy yet a really nice layout for Christmas cards, and I made this card. Now I'm going to show you using these two same cuts to make another card, and then another Christmas card that is quick and easy as well, with a little bit of shimmer. So let's get to my craft table. All right, down here at my craft table, I'll bring this, slide this card in here. I had it all nicely laid out. So the first card we made was this one. We had a strip that was 5.5 by 1.5, so it fit the full length of the card, or the width of the card, depending on which way you had your card. We had a 3-inch square of DSP, a 3.25-inch square. This one ended up being 3 1/8 because I cut it wrong, and then a punch tag, and then some embellishments if you wanted to. You don't have to. If you're making multiple cards, a simple layout but an elegant layout is a way to go. When you get into lots of detail, it takes longer to make each card. So you have to make the decision. How many cards do I need? But this layout can be changed up. So it can be, the strip could be in the middle, it could be over here, this could be straight, it could be, if you did it this way, you could probably do it on the diagonal. So, and the sentiment could be anywhere. You could stamp directly on your card. So each card could still look different, yet similar, because you're using all the same pieces. So you could make all your cuts and go from there. So that was card one that I showed you last week. So if you missed that, go back to that video. I'll pop the link down below. So then I took the pieces, and this was my strips. So this is the 3-inch square. This is the 1.5 by 5.5-inch square. And we always matted this. So now you can see this is a 3.25-inch square. You can see I have more around the outside edge, the border. So this is a mat because it's going behind. What I could have done and should have done was punch my circle out of here. But I didn't. So that's okay, because you're going to cover it up and you're not going to see it. So it's just another way to expand your paper, extend your paper, because you're covering it up. But I did do that on the strips. So on my 1.5 by 5.5 strip, I'm just going to have a border on each side. So you can, so what I did was I cut this at 1.5, then cut it in half, and I'm just gonna glue it on like this because I just want a border on each side of here. So you're extending the use of your paper to go further when you do this, instead of doing a 5.5 by 1 3/4-inch strip and just covering the whole back. So you don't have to do that. This is just a way of using more paper. So if you want to fiddle with, it doesn't take much to fiddle with two-piece sides like this, but if you want to do it where you have the one size that goes behind this, then it's 5.5 by 1 3/4. Okay. And then I punched out a 1 3/4-inch circle and a 1 7/8 circle. So the circle punches are really good for this. And I have a number of different sizes, and then I just punch those out. I think those are a good value for your money. The circle punches and the different sizes, because then you can mat each one and go from there. I'm just seeing a little bit of I was trying to punch this out of the last little bit of Cherry Cobbler, the right name. So that is going to be this card. And we're going to put that together. Now, the other thing I did, ooh, do you see it there? See the shimmer on that paper? Okay, there's no shimmer on this paper. So what I did was I had purchased a Wink Stella. And this adds shimmer to your card. And so if you can see, there we go. Isn't that beautiful? It just adds some shimmer to your card. And so I just outlined some of the petals. I didn't outline them all because I think my circle is going to go here. So there's no sense putting Wink Stella where it's going to get covered up. So that's card number 1 we're going to make. Card number 2 is another quick and easy card. And that is just taking a mat that's 4 by 5 1/4. Again, you can punch out some things in the background. I should have punched my circle out of there. I still can punch circles out. And then this piece is 3 3/4 by 5. It's going to go on top like this. And then can you see the Wink Stella? Yeah, look at that. So I kind of blobbed it here. No issues. That's where my sentiment is going. And then I'll add some more shimmer down here. That it's taken me a long time to purchase Wink Stella. I've seen people use it, talk about it, and it is really cool. It gives some shimmer to your paper where you would like some, and just adds a nice touch. So let's put these together. Again, I think this would be the quickest card. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you're just cutting 2 pieces and you're using the whole piece, so you get to really see the design of the DSP. All right, so let's put this one together first. All right, I have a new glue. My other one is almost done, and so I thought, let me not just shake it and shake it and shake it in front of you, but I will finish it off camera. All right, so I've just put glue down both sides of this, and I'm going to, oh no, put it on my paper like this. I almost did a boo-boo. Almost did it upside down. There we go. Get some of that glue off my finger. And you just eyeball. Okay, so we've got that. And then let's glue this. Move this out of the way so I don't get anything on there. There we go. And then we're going to put it on the card. And so I thought I would do it landscape. This paper with the gold on it comes from the Halloween pack. So even landscape, you couldn't really put it on a diagonal too much. You would have to make it a smaller square. But I think for this purpose, I'm going to just do it straight on. I'm going to put some glue on here. Now line it up on one side so that you only have to trim the one side if it is too long. And I've got some of this Cranberry Bliss that's just a little too long. And it's still showing here. There we go. And then I'll get the sentiments done at the same time for each card. So this one, we're just going to glue this onto the card mat. I could have done a green background as well. There we go. All right, so let's do the stamping on these two. So I'm going to do Merry Christmas. Whoops, put them right side up. This stamp I did surgery on. I cut it between the Merry and the Christmas because it was really long, and really long works really well on some cards, but on a small circle, it doesn't work very well. But when you put them one above the other, it works really beautifully. So I just did stamp surgery, just cut between, and I can join it up again, but then I get double use out of this stamp. Oh, let's get this out. This makes sure that I just get it perfect. So I didn't have a red ink that really matched this Cranberry Bliss and the red in the... So I picked green, and oh, that just makes it pop. So I think that was a good choice to go. It's Mossy Meadow that I'm stamping with. So again, use what you have in your stamp stash. Okay, so there we go. This foam pad just makes sure that when I'm stamping with acrylic stamps, the clear acrylic stamps, that I get a good stamp every time. Now I've got one cranberry circle and I'm missing the other one, and that's how quickly I can lose them. Oh, there it is. All right, so let's get these glued on. Another thing I could have done was done heat embossing on this as well. Again, that takes time, and what I'm showing you is quick and easy cards to make for Christmas. But again, you can get as complicated, not complicated, but detailed. That's the word I'm looking for. Detailed as much as possible. Putting some foam adhesives on to pop this greeting up. So this one is going to cover this big blob of Winkastella, so it's going to go there. Listen, no one's going to know at all. And I think this one I want to put down here off the card, or off the, so I see most of the poinsettia. There we go. Don't they look beautiful? I have my gems here. Oh, it's just just a great value is to get them like this. Now, where do I want to put them? I think this one, I want to put one here. And you just need a little dot of glue. And maybe here. Get my take a pick tool with the rubber end on it. You can do it like this too. You can put some in your lid and grab, and then you see the different sizes. Where did I put the glue? I did put just a little dip, a little bit there. There we go. And there's card number 1. And oh, that one's not a whole circle. And this one, I think I'll do the same thing. There we go. Whoops, that did not go down. There we go. I'm just going to use all the same size here. What size did I use? Medium. There we go. Put these away before I send them flying. That's probably something I would do. So there's our 2 cards for Christmas. Now I had cut the paper beforehand. That's another way that you can make multiple cards, is do all the cutting at one time, then do the gluing, then do the stamping, and just do it like assembly line. And it goes a little faster because you're doing the same repetitive action, and it comes together a little faster. So to do the Wink of Stella, I'm just squeezing to get a little bit. There we go. And then I just follow the outline, and it goes on wet, but it dries shimmery. So if you've made a wet line, it's gonna shimmer. And oh my gosh, I am really liking it. So there we go. And that will dry to a shimmer. It doesn't look like much now, but it'll dry to a shimmer. And so I've got Wink of Stella on there, and look at how pretty that is. Just beautiful. And you can, I don't know if you'll, anyway, it adds a nice touch to cards, especially Christmas cards. It is really nice. So there's the first design that I brought you. And it was just a strip and a square and a mat for the square and a punch out. Or yeah, a punch out for the greeting. And then I brought you these 2. And then I'll do the envelope and the inside of the card. I always do them all at the same time, so I know it's done and I don't have to do it later on. So there you have it, folks. I used this card as a jumping off point to then make this card, but I added a mat behind the strip and behind the sentiment. And so it just makes it a little different. And then I did the envelope, and I've done the inside of the card as well. Added some designer series paper. So there was card number 1, another simple layout to make a Christmas card, and just letting the DSP do all the work. But the DSP, where it really shines, is in this layout, where you just have the DSP and a mat behind it and I have it on an ivory card. I've done the inside, and trying to show you the shimmer. You can see where it's like there. I don't know if it's going to show up when I do the editing. Sometimes I pop things up and I can see it very clearly in my camera, and then I look and I'm like, oh, I can't even see it. So I did some Wink of Stella, which comes in a tube like this, and it's shiny, and it's a little bit of glitter, just a little bit, but it's shiny, and it just adds a nice touch to your cards. So that's was card number 2. This one really lets your DSP shine. And, you know, when you've got something like this busy of a designer series paper, it really makes a very elegant card. So there we go. Christmas. You know what? It's almost the end of October. It won't be long before it's here. And if you're making cards, don't leave it to the last minute because you'll feel stressed. It's like, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. Procrastination or leaving it to the last minute, both the same thing, just creates stress in your life. And we need to be decreasing stress in our life. So start on your cards now. If you don't have any Christmas designer series paper or cardstock that lends to Christmas, check out my online store. And now is a really good time to get your stock. Because if you go to join my team, you could sign up. No commitment, okay? Just hear me out. There is no commitment whatsoever. But this is what you would gain. And I think it's so exciting. So for, I think it's $135, might be more than that, but check the numbers below because those are accurate. What I'm saying here is not accurate. But for $48, you can purchase that. So like, what a savings. What a savings. And there's 2 levels, so that's $48. For $135, you can purchase $225, I think. So 2 great deals, 2 different levels. So depending on what amount of supplies you need, you have 2 categories that you can fit in. And then that's it. You don't need to do anything else. But the bonus as well, not only do you save money, but you will get a pumpkin kit for free. A pumpkin kit is everything is in that one kit. It would make a great Christmas gift. It would make a great working quickly on something, a project, whatever your heart's desire. So you get a free pumpkin kit, free shipping and handling. And then if you decide to do any, you know, sharing of the card making, there's resources for demonstrators in there. You can throw that all out if you don't want it. So it's a great way to get some stock, some of that, so that you could start card making. And no commitment. I love it. It's no commitment. So that's really kind of cool. But you have to go through Join My Team. And the reason you have to go through Join My Team is so that you can get those discounts. It won't pop up on just the shopping part of it. So, but if you just want to shop for products, just hit the link to my online store with Stampin' Up, and you can purchase your products there. They're shipped right to your house. It doesn't get any better than that. And you can start your way to card making and joining the rest of us, or continuing with sharing kindness, one card at a time. Thank you for joining me.